How are Uber and Lyft going to roll out Proposition 22? Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone, Mark here for Mark's Travel Time. Today's program we are going to talk about what Uber and Lyft have released as their plan to roll out everything that was laid out in Proposition 22. There are some what I consider to be kind of offensive statements in their releases, so let's get right to it. I'm taking this from The Verge. Under Prop 22, gig workers, including rideshare drivers, will be paid 120% of California's minimum wage. That's $13 an hour now. As we move into 2021, that will be $14 an hour. For rideshare drivers, that applies only to what this article says active hours, or what we've come to know as engaged hours. This was always the thing that stuck in my craw. This whole concept of engaged hours is a thing that I always felt was deceptive, misleading. It was the advantage that Uber and Lyft had. Engaged hours, of course, mean the time that from between the time that you accept the ride to the time you drop the passenger off, which is a great deal different than just time that you're working. So you could be working, you could log onto that app at 8 o'clock in the morning, log off at 4 in the afternoon. That's 8 hours online getting ready to drive. But maybe at a time you only have 3.5 hours where you're actually on a ride or actually delivering a product. That's the only time they count. And that's the biggest thing that disturbed me. Well, it's law now, so we're not going to change it. It requires workers with 15 active hours a week to receive the healthcare stipend. They have not released what that healthcare stipend is just yet, but there's more to it. Let's go on. It says Lyft's pay schedule is similar. Well, it has to be. It's law. With its first guarantee earnings period beginning on December 16th. So they're jumping the gun a little bit. They're not even waiting until the first of the year. Now, this next statement I think is incredibly arrogant. Now, this could just be paraphrased by The Verge, and it's possible that it's their words, not Uber and Lyft's. But I just think this is a real funny couple of sentences. At both companies, drivers who earn more than the guaranteed minimum will keep all of their earnings. There's no upper limit. Woohoo! We get to keep what we earn? Since when is that a novel concept? You get to keep what you earn. And they're putting this out here like it's a wonderful thing. Not only do you get a guaranteed minimum, but if you earn more, you get to keep it. I'm dumbfounded at that statement. Then it says they'll also keep 100% of their tips. Well, I hope so. The tips are given to you because you're providing exemplary service. Why in the world would they deserve part of your tips? They know they don't, and yet they're putting it out there like they are being so magnanimous and they're being such wonderful people. And look what we're doing. We're even letting you keep your tips. Oh man. You know, sometimes it's hard not to get bitter doing a channel like this. For healthcare, Lyft will provide a quarterly healthcare subsidy for drivers who drive at least the qualifying 15 hours per week. Again, that is engaged time. It could take you 40, 50, 60 hours of being online in order to get that time. We don't know. To qualify, drivers have to provide proof. Now, first of all, it doesn't say what the subsidy is. They're not releasing that yet. You have to provide proof that you're enrolled in a qualifying healthcare plan. I don't know what qualifying means. I hate doing air quotes, but what is a quote-unquote qualifying healthcare plan? They have to prove they're the primary policyholder in a qualifying healthcare plan. So that means that if you are a driver and your husband or wife are the main beneficiaries or they are the primary policyholders, you cannot claim that policy and get a percentage on that policy. It has to be a policy that you take out as a primary policy holder. Uber drivers receive 50% of the stipend, amount still to be determined, if they average 15 active hours a week, and 100% of the stipend when they average 25 active hours per week. So they have a stipend. They're not telling you what the stipend is or how much it is. I don't know it. Don't get this wrong. It's not 50% or 100% of your premium. It's 50% or 100% of the stipend that's going to be applied toward your premium. So we know very, very little about dollar amounts here. Drivers can qualify for the healthcare subsidies beginning January 1st. So even though it says that Lyft is going to, as of yesterday, they're going to start applying the minimum wage, the health care part of it is not, which I guess makes sense because it's the calendar year, right? How are they going to cover these costs? You knew all along. I mean, it's simple economics. To cover the new cost of the benefits, Uber said it will apply a fee of up to $1.50 to the cost of rides and $2 on meal deliveries. I'll tell you what, I think that Uber is killing the golden goose. They are putting, and keeping with the goose analogy, they're putting all their eggs in one basket, that meal basket, the meal food delivery basket, Uber Eats. And as a result, I think they are going to risk seeing that thing go down in flames. It is so successful. They're saying, well, let's tap into this. They're just as bad as the politicians. The politicians that say, oh, look at this, we got rideshare, let's tax, tax, tax. Now Uber is saying, let's fee, fee, fee. Before long, why am I going to use Uber Eats? You got the politicians taxing it on one end, you got Uber applying fees on the other end. At some point, I'm not going to pay $23 for my $8 meal. At some point, they're going to push it so far that it's not going to be worth it. However, this money has to come from somewhere. And this is a thing politicians really try to pull over our heads, right? They say, or pull over our eyes, or what do they pull it over on? They say, oh, we're going to give you all this for free. Trust me, nothing is free. Try to buy a McDonald's hamburger in Quebec. For what you pay $3 here, you're going to pay $6.50 up there to get their free health care. Nothing's free. And, you're paying for this like anything else. Anytime minimum wage rises, guess what? Prices rise right along with it. So it's kind of self-defeating. So $1.50 for the cost of rides, $2 on meal deliveries. Lyft did not provide details on additional customer fees, but trust me, they are going to be there. Now, this is another interesting one. Prop 22 mandates current rideshare drivers received safety training before July 1st, 2021. I do not know what form that safety training is going to take. Probably watch a video. Maybe have an interactive thing where you have to answer a question before you move on. Drivers who sign on after January 1st will be required to complete the safety course before taking their first trip. Drivers will also be required to take breaks of at least 6 hours if they drive more than 12 hours in a 24-hour period. We've already got that in place, I believe. And they will be enrolled in an injury protection insurance that covers medical expenses, disability payments, and survivor benefits. We don't know what that is. It says they'll be enrolled in it. I don't know if that means Uber and Lyft are going to be paying for it. There's a big difference between being enrolled in something and having the company cover it 100%. So in many ways, the story gives us some information. A little of it is misleading, and I think they're doing a lot of self-congratulatory things here that they don't really deserve, like saying you get to keep what you earn. You get to keep your tips that are given to you. Where is this coming from? But I will say this. If I was an entrepreneurial type in California right now, I would be digging into what is this safety training? What are they requiring? Is the state requiring anything? Is this completely up to Uber and Lyft? because this might be an opportunity for somebody to jump in and become a safety trainer, or operate the safety training business, whatever that ends up looking like. I think there's a very good chance it's just going to be online, and it's just going to be something, they watch a video, they answer a few questions, take a few mini quizzes, maybe they have to pass something before they can log out and get an online certificate. It's going to be my guess. But if it's anything outside that, this might be a chance to open your doors to more money. Just like in some of these places, if you work for Lyft, you can be the car inspector and make a few happy dollars in that way. This safety training might be an opportunity. I don't know. We'll see what transpires and how they roll it out. Well, that's it for today. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please click my face in the corner to subscribe. Then you can click the bell icon up above. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'm Mark. This is Mark's Travel Time.